So I'm taking extra precautions today. And I've had to undo the gearbox mounts. Ready? Good morning everybody, good morning everybody. The 350 is here. In the last video we failed on something quite bad, but I've bought the part we need and we're going to do pretty much now a full exhaust on the 350. I've had a lot of comments asking about what's happening with the 190 and stuff. It's a long story, but I've actually put a full video on Patreon explaining what's going on with all of my cars and why we're having delays and what's potentially gone wrong and why we almost quit out on the 190. I'm actually putting a lot of effort back into Patreon. I had a massive kick up the arse and I got so complacent with it. I'm doing videos on Patreon every 2 or 3 days. We're getting back to the monthly giveaways and so I'm doing monthly giveaways on Patreon. So please head over, it massively supports the channel and I'm going to be giving a lot more back on there. So yeah, for today we're doing a full video, full exhaust on this. We had to stop last time because I realised the blow was even further forward than the exhaust that I bought. So I had to buy a new exhaust, I'll get that now. So in here, we have a aftermarket wide pipe. So on my one, the blow.
5 hours later.
The blow was actually on these flexes on there, so I've got an aftermarket wide pipe. I actually got this for a good deal on eBay. I don't even know the brand of the company, but it actually looks quite good. It's good quality, there's no flex in it. Looks alright. And it comes with all new bolts and gaskets, so they know that the bolts on here are going to be ruined. So we've got whole new bolts, so I'm not afraid to just break these ones or grind them off, which would be quite nice. New gaskets, and I'll go and get the actual exhaust. And then here is the actual main sort of back box, mid pipe, whatever you want to call it. It's got a resonator in here, which is quite small, so I'm worried about how loud it's going to be. This isn't new. I got this second hand off Facebook, I think, for like 150 quid. I don't want to spend a massive amount of money on this because it is going to be a cheap drift car. Now I did get this quite cheap because there's a little bit of, like, you know, they don't sit perfectly flush here. These flanges are a little bit bent. That one's the worst one. But what I've done to overcome that is I've just bought some gaskets here from a company on eBay. So I've just got new gaskets and I've actually got 2 for each one. So if I have to put 2 gaskets in there, that should take up that space. It is a bit of a bodge, but I really don't care as long as it don't blow horrendous. So no time to waste. I've got to get it jacked up. Even on stock height, there's a weird jacking procedure that you've got to do with these, so I'm terrified to put on coilovers. I have bought some coilovers. They're being delivered today, so we've got to do all this before the drift day in 2 weeks' time. So let's just get cracking and get this exhaust off, because I'm really scared about getting these bolts off them damn cats, I'm not going to lie. And what I also learned in the last video is that there's no tool in hell that's going to get these bolts off. So we're going to go straight for it. I'm not wasting any time. Now I also don't have any goggles and I'm sick of shit getting in my eye. And even when I have goggles, it somehow finds a way to get in my eye. So I'm taking extra precautions today. I can't see anything. Okay, so I've got the middle ones off pretty easy. I'm worried about the cat ones because they're really close to the chassis rail, and I'm really worried that if I'm going to have to grind them, that I won't be able to get them. But we can pull the back box off now. It's just some rubbers. I say just rubbers. Rubbers are a fucking pain, aren't they? But there's rubber here. I might see if I can actually unbolt the rubbers, because that might just be a bit easier. Let me go and see. What are they, 10, 12 mil, 13, something like that? Okay. The bolts were just not coming loose. So I found it the best way to do. I mean, it was tough, really tough trying to get them off the hangers. You just got to fiddle about with a load of screwdrivers, guys. But I didn't want to film it because I was trying so many different ways. I've got hundreds of tools out. But I feel like that is the easiest way. Cause these, they're just kind of like pushed on this way. Tried pushing it off the side, but that wasn't coming. So WD-40, screwdrivers, I managed to get it off. There is a tool for this. It's like a big claw. I don't have one, so the best way to do it, I find, is if you can get from the back, push your screwdriver over this way and leverage back off that, and that's perfect. But I can't because the bumper's there, so I'm going to have to go in this way. So WD-40, and just try to get your screwdriver in there and just open it up. And once you've got your screwdriver all the way through, you can kind of wedge it open and then start pulling on the exhaust. Okay, the last one, I found it was easier to come up through here and try to pull it off sideways. So I've got the rubber here and the rubber's on that one. So now we start grinding off it from the Cat, and this is the bit I'm worried about. I mean, that was harder than I thought, but fucking hell. Right, the only way, I've tried everything and I've figured something out. So I've tried to just jack up the front of the engine to lower it a bit. It didn't work. So the only way I've managed to drop this so I can get a grinder on it here is I've had to come and I've had to undo the gearbox mounts. So I've just done this side one at a time. I was trying to do it nice and slow and equal, but I kind of didn't. So this side's undone. I am going to get the jack under there just quickly, just to support it a little bit. But now I've got room to get a grinder on here. Now I've got room to get a grinder on there. See how it's low from the subframe, from the chassis rail here? I can grind that off. God, that scared the shit out of me. And then I can do for the same thing with the side. But there is a bit of stress in that prop shaft right now, so I'm going to get the jack underneath and just support it a little bit, and then jack it up. And then once I'm done, jack it up, put the gearbox mounts back in. But the only way, if you need to grind this to get room, if you've not got a reciprocating saw, is to drop the engine mount, the gearbox mount at the back. So yeah, great one, Nissan. So my battery's dead for the grinder. I'm just trying to, I'll just put that on charge. But it's getting even worse, guys. I thought that once I drilled that nut off, or the bolt off, you know, I thought, like, you know, I'd probably just be able to whack it through that side, because it's only threaded into each other. It's not actually threaded into the gaskets. It's not threaded into the flanges. It's just threaded into the other side. So once you get that off, realistically, the bolt, you know, the other side of the bolt should just pop through. It's welded and sealed on that side. I can't get it out. I literally cannot get it out. So I'm probably gonna have to grind this side off so it's flat, and then drill the hole out. Either that, or try and borrow a blowtorch and just heat the shit out of it. But I'm gonna have to do that to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is why I hate doing exhausts. You know, it's easy for the Americans on YouTube. Hey, just undo 4 valves and it comes off. Yeah, with your cars it might, not with it, not over here. All this just to fix an exhaust blow. I don't even care about it sounding good. I don't think these engines sound very good as they are. I just don't want an exhaust blow. Right, so there we go. We're getting there. One nut at a time. We're getting there. Now, gonna get these things out. Okay, so I've even cut the head off the other side of the bolt, and it is still not budging. So it's absolutely welded into there. Not even the heat of the grinder, you know, did good enough of a job. So I think the only thing I'm going to need, I need a blowtorch, and I need to blowtorch the shit out of this just to release that rust and just to expand it, and then hopefully it should just pop out. Because right now I'm stuck a little bit. Okay, I've got it out, and thanks to this guy on Instagram, Taylor Hetherington. What an absolute genius. He says cut a slot in the side like this, and then hammer it out. And I cut a slot and it hammered out. So what a fucking genius he is. Well done, mate. Good idea. Cut a slot in the side just to take the pressure out the bolt, and then just give it a bit of a whack, and then out we go. So there we go. It's a little slit. It'll still be able to clamp down with the nuts and some bolts. Maybe just put a washer on there. But what a genius, Taylor. What a guy. What a guy. Oh, I've done it. It's off. It's off. Yeah, thank God. Oh my giddy fucking aunt. Right, I hope getting it on isn't going to prove too much difficulty. I've been having a grinder in my face all day. I can't remember what day it is, to be honest. We've got all the bolts here. We've got 6 bolts, 6 nuts, the spring-loaded washers, or whatever you call them, and then just some washers. Now we're going to have to put the bolts this way, because we can't put the bolts in this way. Well, we can with that one. They go through nicely, which is good. But on this side, I won't be able to feed the bolt through that way, but we'll put the bolt through that way, and then just hold the nut up there, and then just turn it into the nut. So we're going to do them both this way. Oh, now this is bloody awkward, guys. because I've got to hold it up with my foot. And I've got to find the right place so the bolts move, because they're quite stressed on each other. And I've got to get all these bloody washers in and move the nut back, the bolt back and forward, and fuck, this is not easy. Oh my god. Right, now I need to tighten these bitches. Okay, it's a 14mm. Please say I can get it on here. Thank god. Thank god for spanners and ratchet spanners, eh? I'll tell you, I hate doing exhaust, everybody. We're not even done yet. To the other side, don't forget about the bloody gearbox mount, and then do the back. We're nearly there. Don't jinx it, dickhead. Okay, that's all on and bolted up. Gearbox mount is back on, so here's the rest of the exhaust. We're going to take these bits off here and just put the gaskets on, because I think I can just do that in one piece, I think. Oh, we do have that mount there as well. Okay, might be a little bit difficult, but we'll just get the gaskets on first to make sure it covers the gap, to know if we need one or two. And then yeah, let's finish this off. Actually, to make it easier getting it on the mounts, you know, the exhaust come in 3 pieces, so I'm going to put it on in 3 pieces. So we're going to put them on the mounts and then line them up, and then just going to do the middle bit first. So just going to take the rest of these bolts off, which come off quite nice, which I'm happy about, because it's the first bolt I've undone all day. Okay, we're on. There's the japspeed back exhaust. There it is, all bolted up, all hanging up. I put 2 exhaust gaskets on here because at the top they weren't. There was a bit of a gap, the top and the bottom, and there's still, by eye, a tiny bit of a gap up there, so there might be a little bit of a blow, but I'd rather it blow in here right near the exit, and we can sort that. Obviously what's happened is some of these flanges have just kind of grew apart, so it might be worth, like, in the future, heating them up and just trying to like pull them back together. I've tightened them and it's kind of pulled them in, but there's no bolts at the top, so pulling it together at the top. But everything's bolted up. Let's fire it up. Okay, let's see what it sounds like. I'm knackered. I hope it's not blowing too bad. I do think it will be blowing a little bit, but whatever. Ready? Oh yeah, that sounds nice. Is it blowing? That's a nice tone actually. We have got the, we can actually take out the bungs at the end, and that'll make it a little bit louder. Now it is blowing a little bit, but I'm going to do a bit of a ghetto fix. Give me a sec. It even says it on the tin, guys. Problem solved. Give me a minute. Let's give it a couple cheeky revs. See what it sounds like. Oh yeah. That sounds really good. Since when were them pops and crackles coming from? That's like a nice tone. I hate 350s that are like really loud, because like really raspy. The V6, like, oh, that's the horrible noise. That is deep, and that's I really like that actually. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that is good. So, one job done. I actually thought I wasn't going to get that done today. I'm not going to lie. I really thought at one point I wasn't going to get that done. Perseverance, boys. Is if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. It absolutely stinks. All the WD-40's like burning off, and it absolutely stinks. So I'm going to pack away, get the car on the floor, let that paste dry overnight, and we've got some more mods coming up for this, and I cannot wait for our drift day. So I love you all. This is like changed the car. Like, you don't understand how bad it was. It was so bad. And now I'm actually excited to drive. I'm going to drive it to the gym tonight. I'm actually really excited to drive it now, because it'll like sound like a proper car instead of just a tractor. Oh, I'm excited. Right, I love you all, and we'll see you in the next one.